thumbs on the bottom is inferior, guys, unless you're doing conjuring, okay? When it comes down to logic and things like tracing, okay, a lot of the times we are tracing with the inner part of our thumb. We feel this connection, okay? When we have it in the bottom, there are certain angles that just don't quite make sense, and it actually messes up like how you look in terms of cleanliness. Because look at that. There's a big gaping hole right there. Look, I can draw it in, color it in. You know, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. Join the Gloving Academy Discord. Here you can share light shows and lab with other glovers from all around the world. We have an awesome community dedicated to helping each other improve. This is the only place in gloving where you can get rewarded with free gloving gear just by being active and participating in public events happening every month. I have already given out a handful of recharge packs, and all you have to do is be active within the Discord. We've got workshops, concept labs, competitions, and a growing library of free resources available no matter what skill level you are. And if you would like for me to do a frame-by-frame video of your light show, you can submit your video on the Discord. We're only going to get bigger and better from here, so follow the link in the description to join. We've got Fidget. All right. Love the name Fidget. Length 236. This was recorded for fun. I want you to focus on cleanliness of the show. Let's go, baby.
Trying to titty fuck Ricky Lake.
Yo. What were those lyrics?
Trying to titty fuck Ricky Lake. Wanna take Rihanna on a Disney date? Yeah. People looking at me stupid. Is he baked? When I ate 68 tabs with a whiskey chase. Yeah. Easy. Walk into a busy bank.
Ooh.
Tell her, give me safe. Bye. Then I blow her kissy face. If she waves back,
yeah, dude.
Like I'm Drizzy Drake. Wait, pills for Kevin made me space. Yeah.
Pretty good execution so far.
Chemical imbalance is my talents. As a kid, I spent
a little bit of a logic thing there.
On anything if it was mainstream. Arizona iced tea from my pasties. Noodles from Edo since grade 3. Burrito with baked beans and a steak cheese.
Love the pacing. Ooh, love that move. Love the set as well. Ooh, love the committing to that point of contact. Saw a spot there. Okay. Alright. I saw a thing there. I saw a thing there. I gotta pause. Alright, Brandon. Brandon, since you're in here, I know. We talked about this, bro. Yes! You saw it! Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. Anyway.
I love the party scene. I got a lot of problems, and you know it'll probably be because the time and aborted feet is
placement there was a little bit off.
Therapy, I sort of needed therapy. A quarter piece of chicken to the horse teeth. Just trying to snort the cocoa up in no nose off a horse's penis. Yeah, I just stole the flow off a tortured genius. I'm trying to book meetings with a corporate Jesus. People think that
flow is pretty good, man.
Informative speech, Stanton recording this beat. Presidential eating lunch like I'm Donald Trump. Everything my pen writes down now, Robert Munch.
Movement a little bit shaky. Just a little bit.
ISIS Anonymous, they wanted to sponsor us. They told me they bought a bus. They wanted to go on tour. They told me they brought a gun.
Ooh.
They don't like my moods. Yeah. Hercules, lift the curtains, please. Yeah. Let me on stage with the circus freaks. I need perks and weed, and a verse for free, and some purple lean. It's our anniversary.
Remember, we were chasing rabbits September. Went on a bender to Denver from October, November. December got way better, but only cause of Christmas Eve.
Dimethyltryptamine. Dimension shifting dreams, mind bending mysteries. I'm venting misery. He got mad cause then when I mentioned Krispy Kreme, we couldn't find a location.
Lots of textures.
Stand by.
Yeah, I love the movement in this show. Sick, bro. That was pretty gnarly. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there were a couple hiccups there, a couple misalignments. Happens all the time. You know, there's only a couple, like, hiccups that I could pretty much spot. But, yeah, let's go through it. That was clean. Okay, alright, so. Okay. Very minor. I've talked about this in a couple videos, but there's moving both the forms together, okay? and I love the body movement. So this is where like a kind of a little bit of the balance in gloving has to like come together. Okay. So like there's moving your body and moving the whole form, which is really great for like showmanship. Like you have a vibe, you have a persona, right? But then when it comes to like grid, right? There's moving, you know, there's moving one and then there's moving the other. If you want to build on that isolation, you move one hand, then you change the lead, When we keep doing both of this all the time, sometimes it could affect our grid, right? Not saying that it's happening here, but it could affect our grid. And we could be utilizing those type of movements as a crutch, okay? Again, not saying that this is happening here, but you got to watch out for things like that. Because guess what? When you have like movements like that, right? So there's a little bit of floating happening. Well, just a little bit. You see? This hand is moving. This, right? It's pretty good though. I would say 80% good. Right? Like here. Form is right here. It lingers all the way there. Right? Gotta be careful. Still pretty, you know, not that bad. But gotta be careful. I'm looking for perfection. Perfection. You see? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Okay? We have both hands moving at the same time. What's the beginning of that move? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So we could build on that, man. We could build on that grid. You know? This is just such a minor part in light shows because you don't really think about this type of stuff. Where like if you kept the isolation there, if you kept the isolation there and then built on it, you could use that as a transition, right? But because we're moving both things at the same time, even though I don't know what your intent is, it's what separates like the good glovers, in my opinion, to like those who are at the top. Like if you're trying to hit that 1%, it's like maintaining that isolation as a transition point rather than breaking off into like flow and then doing, you know what I mean? And then like not building. The fact that you're not building, that's what's gonna take you higher. The fact that you build, it's gonna add on to your execution and your transitions, right? It's about building, guys. Okay, we got this digi here in this placement. Let me think about this real quick. Okay, very minor thing. Okay, this is like on the diagonal of the pinky. How did he get into it? He hinged. That is good logic. You see that? Good logic. I had to test it myself. Because from here, right, from a flat hand, from this line, keeping that isolation there and doing that hinge to land on the diagonal part of his finger is good logic. If he was straight on this finger, like stacked on that from this flat hand, it wouldn't have been good logic. You see? If he had landed, like, if he went from this to like there, where it's lined with the side of his pinky, that wouldn't have been good logic. Okay? Because in order for you to get from here to even there, you have to land at that corner of your finger there. That's good logic. That's good isolation. Okay? So that happens everywhere. Very minuscule aspects of gloving. I'm paying attention to that digit. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm paying attention to this digit here. Okay, where does it land? Okay, look. He's moving this hand forward while this finger is turning. All right? You could have broke this into like 2 different pieces. It's not bad. You know, very, very small error. Barely doesn't change anything. But the thing is, when it happens all the time, it happens all the time if it's consistent through all your shows. There's going to be an aspect to your show where it just doesn't seem clean. Like right now, if I were to tell you if this show was clean, at first glance, most people would probably be like, yeah, you know, it was pretty clean. But when you look deep, it's not clean because of instances like that. You got to look, you got to check the placement. You got to proof check it, guys. Proof. Look. How does this make sense? How does this make sense? Okay? Finger align with thumb. Finger move forward. Okay? Finger move forward, but forward. Okay? How can finger be aligned with this and then land here in one movement? It makes no sense. Finger must be here. Finger must go down. Finger must trace along this line. Finger must then land there. That's like 3 different moves. 3 different options in order to be actually clean. But no, we're fake clean here. We're faking it clean here, guys. Blah, blah. Did you see that? Doggo was mad at finger. Yes, see? Even my dog knows. My dog is pretty clean, I think. Okay. Okay. Is it a little clash? I gotta play that over and over. Look! Fidget! Look! This is not clean. That's not clean. You gotta be more disciplined with your line there. That was clean though. Utilizing illusions for transition, guys. Utilizing your speed as a blending, okay? So like, if I were to like, do something like this, right? And I were to like, you know, like, use my speed as a blending so you can't really catch that. You can't catch the bad logic, basically. He kind of somewhat did it here, but he did it in a way where he went off camera. Okay? So utilize that for your advantage. I loved that. Just grabbing your fingertips. Just grabbing your finger and then like just moving it, because you could like utilize your thumb. Like you could use like one unit with that concept. And then like there's like such a cool like illumination when like you open your fingertips and you get that like that depth with your hand. I love that move. Yeah, I might use that one more often. Okay. So he caught it here. He didn't catch it at the beginning because it's going too fast. Okay. Blah, blah. Wait, where that connection at? Where that connection at? You gotta land. You gotta land. You guys watching the Olympics right now? You guys watch it, you know? I'm pretty sure that you know, the gymnastics girl, they don't not land, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta land. Land. Whoop, 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 whoop. Land. Perfect. Okay, this is the big one. This is the big fumble that I saw. That land right here. Ooh, that one is just off. Okay. Landing point. Landing on the tips, guys. Landing on the tips. Because if you're going to do this, then you have to utilize this middle part of your finger as a tool. Just landing there, it feels off. Okay, yeah. This is the big... This is why gloves on the bottom is inferior. Gloves on the bottom. Thumbs on the bottom is inferior, guys. Unless you're doing conjuring. Okay? When it comes down to logic and things like tracing, okay? A lot of the times we are tracing with the inner part of our thumb. We feel this connection, okay? When we have it in the bottom, there are certain angles that just don't quite make sense, and it actually messes up like how you look in terms of cleanliness. Because look at that. There's a big gaping hole right there. Look, I could draw it in, color it in. You know, I feel like I'm in kindergarten. But there's a hole right there, and you don't want that. Because then, unless you're utilizing it, okay? Unless you're utilizing it, Because now there's a big gaping hole there.
Pardon me, Charlie.
Okay, let's look at that trace. All right, we go down. Lots of floating. Lots of floating here. Down. Out. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to do reps. Reps. Down, out, hinge. Okay. Down, out, down, hinge. Okay? That's what's actually happening. Down, down, right? Or do you want to go down to the side? Do you want to go down to the top, trace, then down? Or do you want to down, in, trace, in, hinge? Right? Lots of steps in that movement that we're missing. Lots of steps. Okay? Down, out, hinge. And then now the connectivity of these two fingers are off. All right. If you want a 10 out of 10 out of execution, if you want like a 5 out of 5 on execution next time you're competing in a competition, you have to stick these landings. You have to. You just have to. Otherwise, there's judges like me that are like, oh, he didn't land, and that there's no way that's a 5 or 10. Alignment. Alignment. Look at these. One is in front of the other. I know you want to do a clean rainbow with your fingers. Dial. Am I tripping? Dial. I feel like that pinky is odd. Dial. I feel like there's like rush in it. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Oh, he likes that that grabbing pointer move. That was probably my favorite part of the show. Boop, 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 bam, and then that land, you know? That land, okay, this is a boom, okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, we're cutting corners here. Because we're going from here. We're going from here to this. Okay, look. We're like here. No, we're like here to this, okay? So, the thing about this form is when we hinge up, okay? We might have to do like we land on that side of the arm, right? We might have to do a micro adjustment. It's fine to do this micro adjustment actually when you're doing hinges. Like, it happens. Like, it's very common. You'll see this all the time. But, like, when you do that hinge, okay? And if you're gonna go forward like this, if he actually landed on the hinge properly, and if you were to go forward, what would actually happen is that you would actually tumble into this form right here where your pointer is landed on this webbing on the landing point right here. So then if we're actually going from here, boom, boom, okay? But actually, we're cheating it a little bit. We're going from there to hinge to forward. It's like he's already off. You see, his fingers don't actually land on that here because there's a little bit of a, you can see it. You can see the indentation right there, right? So we actually landed and went off. We landed, went off. We went off here. Look, we went off. Isn't that weird? It's not the worst, but it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The only reason is it just his thumb arched back? Clean landing? Okay. So I gotta full screen my camera to check this. No, I think if you are logical and you actually go forward like this, you actually shouldn't be able to see it. You actually should see like you actually shouldn't be able to see that indentation, that small indentation, like what you're seeing like right here. You shouldn't actually be able to see it if you're logical. But you can't even see your thumb light. Yeah, you shouldn't even be able to see it. Yeah, you shouldn't even be able to see the thumb light. Exactly, yeah. That's a tough one. It's interesting. Isn't that interesting? Like that there's a little adjustment there mid hinge. Like I think that it could be a good tool. Like I think it's like a, it doesn't really affect the execution that bad because there's a loss of information and you could use that to your advantage. It's just maybe the way that it's done, maybe not in this particular case, could be good, you know, like sleight of hand type stuff. Yeah, I know this all too well. Having this indentation, I've done this thousands of times. Be careful with your landing on the indentation. All right, Fidget, pretty good. You know, I say just work on refining the lines. Really go slow. Just see, you know, land. You got this is where like one of the bigger level ups happen in gloving, where you're like literally like questioning every single trace, right? Every single length, you know, knowing that like your pointer and your pinkies are different lengths, and your middle, you know, landing, like having it being perfect. Okay, I know some glovers, the lengths of all their fingers are like the same, bro, and that's just cheat, you know. So some guys have it easier than others, you know, but us, you know, sometimes we have to work just a little bit harder. If you're looking for whites, batteries, skins, or any other gloving accessory, head on over to glow-leds.com and don't forget to use my code AlohaNation for 10% off. Big shout outs to all current Gloving Academy Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much for all the support. Seriously, guys. The Patreon's got weekly educational and never before seen content. So if you want to take your gloving to the next level and learn from me, come join the Gloving Academy Patreon.